So it looks like you're looking to Looksmax a little bit. Okay. I'm going to clarify from the very beginning that I really don't recommend any surgical procedures or anything that is going to harm your health. I think that neither are ever worthwhile risks to undertake, particularly with the objective being that you're trying to improve the quality of your life through your physical appearance. Tragically, we do live in a very shallow society, and we are almost neurologically wired to find those within our own league attractive, but considering the propaganda nowadays, men tend to take a very, very short stick in that regard. So we're going to do a couple of little tricks and tips according to some notes that I've taken that are going to ideally help you take care of yourself, groom yourself, and start to see your face as a reflection of your health and personal grooming habits. So, the first thing that we're going to be examining and improving are your eyes. Now, before we begin, I'm going to take some measurements of your face. That way we get a better gauge as to your facial harmony, your canthal tilt, your nose proportions according to the angularity of your jaw, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go down fifths of your face, and then thirds across your face. So stay still for me. Okay. Okay, I'm going to jot that down. So, it looks like this side of your face is a little bit disproportionate to this side of your face. There's a little more fat accumulation on this side of your face. Do you happen to sleep on that side? Interesting. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay. I would highly recommend you sleep on your back. That is to help improve the symmetry in your face. It's a very good start. I would also highly recommend a lymphatic drainage routine. We will conduct one during this procedure, but I'm really clarifying some things that'll help the lack of harmony between the two sides of your face right now. As for the fifths, I noticed that there are some parts that are a little more focused. According to Chinese physiognomy, for example, if the higher part of your face is the largest, then that tells or reflects of a person who's very cerebral, but perhaps lacking in action. If the middle part of your face is the largest, then that indicates of a person, someone who is, I think, a little despondent, if I'm not mistaken. And then the lower portion of your face is typically how verbose or extroverted you are, how much you communicate and take action. If they're balanced, then there's facial harmony. Anyways, we're going to begin now with your eyes. I'm going to take another quick measurement of your canthal tilt, just to see in relation to your nose and your ears. Okay, yeah. You have a neutral canthal tilt. This can be pretty easily remedied through just a little bit of physical exercising. So I want you to just relax your eyebrows for me. Just let them sit flat on your face. Relax them. Okay, keep them nice and relaxed. Now we're going to stretch your eyes, do some eye exercises, some eyelid exercises, and some eyebrow exercises. Okay? This is going to help depuff your eyelids, so that way we don't have a lower eyelid that's kind of just really baggy or puffy, and it's going to diminish the sight of your upper eyelid and emphasize a higher visual on your canthal tilt. So I'm going to first and foremost ask you to just do a little bit of focus shifting for me, okay? So my fingers are going to come in close to your eyes, and I want you to keep your eyes without moving your head on the tips of my fingers. They're going to come out, keep looking at the tips of my fingers. They're going to come back in, okay? Over here, good. Over here, don't move your head, good. Here, good. Here, good. Here, very nice. Here, okay, good. Here, okay, good. Over here, good. Over here, good. Over here, good. Over here, very good. Now we're just going to stretch your eyes out a little bit. I'm going to be holding your brows down, and I want you to just keep looking up, okay? So I'm just going to hold your brows. Keep looking up for me. Keep looking up. Resist. Okay. Now I want you to raise your eyebrows while I keep holding them down. Try raising your eyebrows. Good. Try again. Good. Try again. Good. Try again. Good. And now I'm going to ask you to just stay still for me. I'm going to ask you to blink while I'm holding your eyebrows, okay? So it's just going to be like a little bit of resistance. I'm going to stretch out your eyes like this, and I want you to just resist that tension, and then when I tell you to blink, start blinking for me, okay? Okay, good. I'm just going to pull your eyes, and blink, 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 blink. Okay. I'm going to apply a little bit of voluflin into your eyelids. This is just a fat-soluble protein that is going to help get the skin around your eyes be well nourished. So I want you to close your eyes for me. Close, 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 close. Okay, good. Close, 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 close. Okay, good. What we're doing right now is called orbo-oculi training. So, now that we've completed that, we're going to begin the Nasion growth. This is just a little nose massage. It's going to feel good, but it's going to also help depuff your nose. It's part of the lymphatic drainage process. But with the Nasion growth, we're going to do a little thing called thumb pulling. Once again, it's just to help with your lymphatic drainage. It'll help just water out some of the fat in your nose. But I do not recommend getting a nose job unless your nose is like egregious. But even if it is egregious, it is best to just do with it what you can, because at the end of the day, plastic surgery is just a form of lying about your genetics, and your children will still inherit your genes, and you've basically sacrificed them on the pyre with no means of dealing or managing with the genes you've given them. So I'm just going to go in and just give it a little bit of a massage. There we go. Just to drain out any of that fat. Depuff it a little bit. There we go. Okay, good. 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 We'll continue that massage procedure once we get to the lymphatic massage. Next little treatment I want you to keep in mind, this is to regulate your nervous system. This is to lower your cortisol, although cortisol does lead in positive ways to a more masculine and angular look. When you're breathing in a hyper or an altered state, it gives prey energy and it makes you kind of retain fat. So if you're breathing in a more manageable way, not only will you find your physical improvement or your physical performance improved, but you'll also find many elements of your health greatly improved as well, including oxygenating your organs, including your skin, which will help the appearance of your skin, such as acne or fat, puffiness, wrinkles, whatever. So I want you to practice breathing in for 4 seconds and then exhaling for 4 seconds. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. If you breathe in and out of through your mouth, which is a bad habit, that's going to recess your jawline. You want to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth to de-stress or to ground your body. So breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Once more, breathe in and out. Don't your lungs feel a little more clear? If you dare to vape, smoke, and that includes either nicotine or the Mary J, I would highly recommend quitting all three. If you need to replace nicotine, I'm not going to recommend necessarily anything, but let's just say people like Tucker Carlson have replacements, and it helps your skin health and your organ health, your lung health, to improve breathing. So I would highly recommend quitting all those habits. Vaping will lead to popcorn lungs within 5 to 10 years. You don't want popcorn lungs. That's what factory workers get, and it's irreversible and far worse than just regular old lung cancer. And Mary J is just sapping out the soul spirit from your frickin' brain. Like it's like a slothful demon, like making you stupid. If you're trying to become a proactive man, you don't want a slothful spirit like poisoning your perspective. There's more dignity in being a drinker who acknowledges that they have an issue than a Mary J smoker who thinks that it's medicine. And it's like, you haven't moved in 3 days. So now we are going to practice a little bit of mouth chewing. So I want you to just chew on this ball. I'm going to put it inside of your mouth. I want you to chew on that 25 times. 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24, 25. Excellent. And now for the other side. I want you to chew on that 25 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Perfect. Now, another little trick or another little tip. I have an example here with me. It's a sweet potato. Sweet potatoes are very nutrient dense. They are highly stocked with antioxidants. They're very good for you. I would recommend boiling or baking a sweet potato and eating one for breakfast or dinner every single day, and you will notice significant results after a week. Boiled or baked potatoes without any extra grease, no salt, no toppings, eaten once a day, will absorb the fat from your face, and it'll improve hydration throughout your body. You're going to want to quit processed foods, sugary foods, and lessen your salt intake. Salt collects fat, including your face, which is the most delicate and sensitive part of your face. Sweet potato allows that fat to be processed properly. Sweet potato, not russet, sweet potato. Okay. Now, a great way to correct your posture, including your neck health, are chin tucks. That means going like this, which is very awkward to do. But chin tucks, when you go like that, help to straighten out your neck. That way you're not having that forward lunge in your neck. It also helps to exercise your jaw. So, I want you to just tuck in your chin, let's say 5 times. And I want you to hold it there for 3 seconds, okay? So, let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. Relax. Again. 1, 2, 3. Relax. Okay, good. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Actually, we're going for 5, so 2 more times. 1, 2, 3. Good. And then one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. So, you're going to notice some relief in the back of your neck when you do chin tucks. And you're going to notice an improvement in your jawline too when you practice it daily. I would recommend 3 times a day, but if not, at least in the morning when you're doing your skincare regime. Now, what does your exercise routine look like? Do you sprint like prey, or do you sprint like a hunter chasing after something? You're going to want to sprint like a hunter. It's going to give you more of an adrenaline rush. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Daniel Penny case, but Daniel Penny had very angular features during his trial, which was very noticeable and attracted a lot of women. The moment his trial was over and he was free to go and he was being welcomed into the presidential circles, his face started to soften and round out, which also lost the interest of a lot of women, and it confused them. When one is in an adrenaline-filled, testosterone-provoking situation, such as a conflict or such as a battle, your facial features are going to become sharper and more pronounced. When one is more lethargic or in more of a pampered condition, your facial features are going to become more cherubic. You can really look to Roman emperors as classic examples, such as Nero, who had no jawline whatsoever, and if it wasn't for his position, he would be screwed. But he was very indulgent and very round-faced. Meanwhile, stronger emperors like Constantine, who were always constantly exercising themselves, going to battle, known for dominating, tended to have more angular features, in part because they were working out that testosterone in their body. So when it comes to your exercises, make sure that it's provoking something kind of animalistic in you, something very focused and masculine. It'll improve your general bone structure as well. Now, another tip I have for you is mouth taping. I'm going to apply a little bit of a wax onto your lips. This wax is hydrating. It keeps the hydration inside on your lips, or onto your lips. But what you're going to want to do is just take a piece of like face tape or any type of tape, just not like any industrial tape. Something small, something simple, something that's not painful to take off. I'm going to just apply some of this onto your lips. It's going to help you breathe through your nose at night. When you breathe through your nose, it helps to keep your jawline intact. If you're breathing through your mouth at night, not only is it going to cause, or it's going to contribute to developing sleep apnea or snoring or poor sleeping habits, breathing patterns at night, but also it's going to harm your jawline. So keep mouth taping in mind. Now I'm going to do a full lymphatic drainage. During this lymphatic drainage, I am going to go upwards on your face, go across your eyebrows. I'm going to circle your temples. I'm going to start by shaking out your ears a couple of times, and then I'm going to allow those fluids to go down your lymphatic system so that way it drains out. If you notice there's some lymphatic nodes on your neck and underneath your chin that are very pronounced, or could be very pronounced, and also on your on your sides, basically. These lymphatic nodes reflect how much toxins or how much contaminants, how many contaminants, how much are inside of your system. When you do a massage, you help flow that through your system, and then when you contribute by eating healthy, clean diets, drinking a lot of water, drinking a lot of antioxidant, or eating a lot of antioxidant-enriched foods, it helps to cleanse the body of diseases. And if you cleanse the body of diseases, your physical appearance will reflect a healthy and strong person. So I'm going to also go down your nose again, across your eyelids, your lower eyelids, away from your cheeks, up your chin, and just do it that way, okay? So I'm going to start by shaking your ears. This is to initiate the lymphatic drainage. It really helps to awaken your face. Try swallowing for me, but don't engage your cheeks like this. Keep it to the center. Focus on the center of your throat. Don't engage your cheeks like this. Good. Swallow once more. Okay, good. I want you to feel that drainage. Now I'm going to go across your eyebrows, up your forehead, up your forehead. Good. Around your temples, round and around your temples, down the sides of your face, down the sides of your face. Okay, there we go, down the sides. And now I'm going to address your nose, underneath your eyes, and away from your mouth. So underneath your eyes. There we go. Down your nose. Away from your mouth. And across your jaw. And then down your neck. There we go. Now that we've completed the lymphatic drainage, I'm going to cleanse your face a little bit. I'm going to spray you down with some spring water. I'm going to wipe your face with a gentle little cleanser. And then after I've cleansed your skin, removing any dirt, debris, you name it, I'm going to apply just a gentle little moisturizer. And I would highly recommend that you incorporate a weekly exfoliant into your skincare regime. This is going to help remove any buried sweat, dirt, dead skin cells that have buried themselves in your pores and can cause blackheads or whiteheads, which reflect someone with very poor hygiene habits. So, it's not gay to take care of your skin. There we go. I'm just going to spray you down a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to add a little bit of a gentle cleanser / toner. There we go. Very handsome. And now I'm going to wipe it off. So I'm just going to eyes closed. There we go. All right, and now for a little bit of moisturizer. This is going to keep your skin hydrated. Massage it in the same kind of vein of doing lymphatic massage, but kind of just casually. There we go. Now, once again, cut out processed foods, deli meats, processed meats in general, are very hazardous to your cellular health. They break down, if not kill, your cellular health. That's why they contribute, or are the largest contributing factor to cancer, because cancer is just a breakdown of your cells. I would highly recommend, and also anything, to define processed foods, it's anything that has been processed through a factory. So basically foods that have to undergo preservatives or be boxed or are genuinely not something that you found from scratch. They're processed. The more processed foods you eat, the less your body is able to break down that which you've ingested, and it'll basically keep those foods in your system, fractalize them, and then keep those foods in your system for much longer than you would want them to be in there. That contributes to toxins and contaminants in your body, considering how processed foods have a lot of chemicals in them that are not digestible and are not edible. No tap water. There's too much estrogen in tap water. There's too many chemicals in tap water, but there's a lot of estrogen. So it's actually far more dangerous for men to drink tap water than women, even though it's dangerous for women too, because essentially you're effeminizing yourself. You're basically, it's turning you into a freaking gay frog. And then no sugar. Sugar encourages inflammation and puffiness. And also it's bad for your teeth. It's like the worst thing you can eat for your teeth, but limit your sugar. Only healthy sugars from like fruits, because fruits are very hydrating and they also contain a lot of antioxidants, so they balance out. Now, I'm going to examine your phenotype real quick. I want to see what cultural background you have. You could be Slavic, Nordic, Anglo-Saxon, you could be Mediterranean, you could be Hellenic, even though that's also Mediterranean, but you know, there's little groups inside of the bigger groups. Depending on your phenotype, you're going to want to take notes from others who have perfected that phenotype, or who look like you but in a better way. You don't want to, for example, take notes from how some blonde-haired, blue-eyed Viking looks if you're more on the Iberian side, and vice versa. You don't want to take notes from someone who is more Hellenic looking if you are more Slavic looking. It just makes you feel like you're misplaced. So from your face, I can tell that you're a little bit more on the Roman side, more Iberian. You're going to want to take notes from others who share your Iberian traits. Now, as for your hair care, I can style your hair a little bit if you'd like. I can just kind of, well, I already took measurements of your face. I guess I can kind of calculate what face shape you have based on the measurements that I've taken. You have a squared face, very handsome. You're going to want to style your hair to make sure it complements your face. So I'm going to cut it long on top, so that way the texture hair you have is visible. If you cut it too short, women don't know what hair texture you have, so that'll kind of leave them with a little bit of mystery, and women don't quite like mystery when it comes to what kind of genetics or temperament you have. So I'm going to leave a little bit long on top, short on the sides, and this is going to give your face more length. That way it's not too boxy. So I'm going to begin by spraying your face, or spraying your hair. Okay. I'm going to just trim up the sides. There we go, a little bit. Okay, good. On the back. Okay, good. And now I'm going to add a little bit of product to style your hair. going to give it a little bit of personality. Perfect. Good. So handsome. Well, that completes our session. Obviously work on your personality, but right now we're focusing on your looks. Keep these habits in mind. If you need them repeated or if you need more procedures, please don't hesitate to return, and we can assess going forward from there. Okay? Okay. Also, don't let vanity become your entire personality. That in itself means that you're not personality maxing, you're only looks maxing, which will get in the way of personality maxing. And it won't give you a satisfying nor enriched life. If you really want to enjoy life, you want to make sure that you are presenting yourself in an attractive way, but also being yourself. That's how you gain the full cup of life, along with other details, but that's elements of the puzzle. Anyways, if you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And until then,